Well, it turned into a little bit of a nail-biter in the ninth inning, but the Angels last night managed to take Game 1 against the Tampa Bay Rays. Tonight from Tropicana Field, it is game number 2 of this 3-game set. And, of course, the Angels, with the victory last night, picked up a game, but this afternoon the Oakland Athletics defeated the Kansas City Royals, so the Angels need a win tonight to remain a game back. Welcome inside the Trop, back to Angels baseball here on Fox Sports West, along with Mark Kubica. I'm Victor Rojas. Last night we saw the Angels offense, I guess you could say, explode in that first inning, and it's the first time that has happened in quite some time.
Yeah, Victor, especially how well the Angels have pitched. It's good to see that early support, and take a look at our AT universe rewind. You're going to see those big swings early on. Mike Trout, his objective yesterday was to get some early pitches and drive the ball. He did so. A 2-run missile at the left field, eventually scoring 3 runs there in the first inning. And Josh Hamilton in the third inning, a solo shot down line, his second home run on this road trip. He's starting to drive the ball well. You need that early support to be able to give C.J. Wilson an opportunity to be able to relax out there, getting his first start in quite some time, swinging the bats, seeing the pitches, and getting those first pitch fastballs and not letting them go important early in the game.
Yeah, you mentioned Josh Hamilton. He came out of the game late last night, but he is in the lineup, and man, oh man, did he put on a show during batting practice. We're going to step away for a moment here. When we return, we'll talk a little bit about C.J. Wilson and the importance of his return to this rotation.
Big acquisition back on our roster and able to pitch and off the deal, and you know, we're relying a lot on him. not to put any more pressure on him. You know, it's enough pressure going out there and just competing, but at the major league level. But we definitely are counting on him to go out there and give us some quality starts and giving our team a chance to win. That's why we got him here, and that's what we're looking for him to do.
We'll see what CJ's capable of doing against the Tampa Bay Rays. We're just about ready for baseball here in St. Pete. Sit back and relax. Lineups at first pitch when we return. .43 record. Cole Calhoun in right will lead things off. Trout at center. Albert Pujols will serve as the DH tonight. Josh Hamilton in left field. He'll be the cleanup hitter. He is fine. Eric Guybar short. Howie Kendrick at second. David Freese at third. CJ Cron gets the start at first base, and Hank Conger will bat ninth and do the catching as they take on the 25-year-old right-hander native of Clayton, North Carolina. His name is Chris Archer.
Chris Archer, very good fastball. It's 92 to 97. Goes upstairs with the fastball above the belt very effectively also. Slider, changeup. But the keys against Archer is work, make him work. He's going to guide it. If he throws pitches out of the strike zone, you have a better opportunity to being successful. And don't chase that high fastball. Try to go upstairs with it, lay off it, bring it down. Better chance, make good contact.
Take a look at the defense behind Archer tonight for the Rays. Geyer, Jennings, and Zobrist in the outfield from left to right. Rodriguez, Escobar, Forsythe, and Loney from third to first, and Casale behind the plate.
Desmond Jennings out in center field. Very athletic, covers a ton of ground for the Rays. Fifth start in center field this season. No errors, 2 outfield assists. He will go very good to his right and left. Go back on the baseball extremely well.
Halos last night a 5-3 win. That is their 65th of the year. Now 3 games over 500 out on the road with a 27-24 record. The Rays, with the loss, are now 8.5 back and in 4th place. They dropped a game last night. This is game number 110 for them. Archer has made 3 starts in his career against the Angels. And pretty good numbers, although he's a guy that some of the Angels hitters have gotten to. Tonight's first pitch being delivered by the UPS store. Cole Calhoun ready to lead things off. He did so last night with a walk. Ended up picking up 2 base on balls, scored a run. Overall went 0 for 3. Three infielders on the right side with Calhoun at the plate. And the first fastball right down the pipe for strike one. Larry Vanover calling the balls and strikes tonight. Vic Carapaz at first, Gabe Morales at second, and Angel Hernandez did a pretty good job last night behind the plate. He's over at third tonight. Broken bat roller to second. Forsythe has it. There's the first out of the ball game.
One thing about Archer, he does throw a lot of fastballs. He will try to sink it and he will try to go upstairs with his four-seam fastball. So I would not be surprised to see some Angel hitters go after the first pitch. Even though you want to see some pitches against them, that first pitch may be your best one to drive.
Trout hitting .302 with 25 home runs and 78 runs batted in. 2 for 4 game last night with a single and home run. And he takes on the inside corner for a strike. Trout's home run yesterday in the first inning, the first for an Angel since June 29th in the first inning. It's good to see the Angels score multiple runs in that first inning. That was popped up on the first base side as he back inside with a fastball. Drifting out is Forsythe. The second baseman makes the catch. 2 outs.
Well, it's time for Hyundai Key to the game. Smith, I'm not the only one. What we've seen from this Angel club is every night there's been someone else come through in the clutch, whether it was Albert Pujols the other day in Baltimore, Mike Trout yesterday, Josh Hamilton, the entire bullpen. That's what you talk about as a team effort, and the Angels have been doing that quite a bit this season.
Two outs, bases clear for Albert. He swings to the first one, fouls it back. Pujols a 1 for 5 night, doubled in the first inning. 25th of the year. 273 average and 67 runs batted in to go with the 20 home runs. Serving as a DH tonight. Fastball down and away. I mentioned last night that the DH spot suits Josh Hamilton. 9 games, he swung the bat well. Same could be said for Albert Pujols. 358 average as a DH for Albert this year with 9 home runs and 25 runs batted in. This is game number 29 for him. This one's ripped to left field, a base hit. 2 out single keeps the inning alive for Josh Hamilton.
Boy, has he been hitting the baseball hard, even in batting practice today. The baseball just jumping off his bat. It's another very good swing for Pujols. Good leverage. Pitch on the lower part of the strike zone, and hits a rocket in the left center field for Pujols once again.
Hamilton yesterday came out of the game in the 7th inning when he was hit by a pitch. As Archer stepped off there at last second.
When you would think as a pitcher you would test him inside with the fastball early on.
That's a strike. Left middle finger for Hamilton. Top part of that finger. But he had no indications. I mean, you watch batting practice today. Thought nothing was wrong with him whatsoever, let alone being hit by a pitch last night. Takes outside. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Archer, a very slow worker. Second slowest in the American League behind his former teammate David Price. Very animated on the mound. And he's got good stuff. 1-1 pitch. Upstairs. And it's 2 balls, 1 strike.
And one thing hitters will look for against Archer, as you saw him moving his glove on a changeup. Sometimes as a pitcher, you will do certain things with your hand inside the glove that will give an indication of what pitch you're throwing. It gives a hitter a better chance.
Now the infield shifts on a 2-1 count. Fastball caught the inside corner. I don't think Josh agrees with Larry Vanover. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes now. Albert with the 2-out single. Just underway here at Tropicana Field. Full count.
He's trying to do that same thing, closing the glove. That way he doesn't tip off. Clearly early in his career, that's what he would do when he's throwing something off speed. Now he's done it with a changeup and with a fastball, same movement in his glove.
Loney playing behind Pujols at first base. Albert's going to get a head start here on this next pitch. Three-2. Hamilton skies went foul and out of play. This one on the third base side. Now some words for Yunel Escobar. .6-6 record for Chris Archer. 3.37 ERA. 108 strikeouts in 125 and 2/3 innings. Albert takes off, another payoff, and it's a swing and a foul at the plate.
Well, the odd thing about these shifts we're seeing in baseball, 3 on the right side of the infield, but in the outfield they're playing Josh hit the ball the other way. A lot of room down that right field line. That's where Josh hit his home run yesterday.
Guess the thought process being if they stay down at the knees, he's probably going to pull the ball. If he elevates a little bit, to take away a potential opposite field double.
He used to have a lot of power the other way, although he still does have power the left center field. He's turning on more pitches and hitting his home runs to right field, though.
3-2 again. This one's ripped down the right field line, and that one is foul. Just hooked at the last minute out in front of the off-speed pitch.
And I'll have a conversation with your catcher and pitcher after that one. Well, it hit so hard you were hoping it didn't hook at the end. Clearly a foul ball, but not by a lot.
Yet another payoff pitch. Hamilton strikes out swinging. They backed it up with another off-speed pitch. And the Angels done here at the top of the first. We'll head to the bottom of the first with no score. Jennings leading things off in center. Ben Zobrist in right. Brandon Geyer gets his start in left field. Evan Longoria, the DH. Sean Rodriguez gets his first action of the series. He's over at third. Yunel Escobar, the shortstop. James Loney at first. Kurt Casale, the catcher, and Logan Forsythe batting ninth. And he will play second base. Taking on C.J. Wilson, making his first start. Activated off the DL today.
Earlier this season had a shutout against the Tampa Bay Rays, 8-6 on the season. C.J. Wilson, though, to be successful against this Rays club, again, be aggressive. Throw that first pitch fastball, finish off hitters quickly, and focus on one batter at a time. Now, don't think in terms of the fourth, fifth, and sixth inning. Every batter to focus on that one to get him out quickly and be able to get deep in the game and give the bullpen a little bit of a break tonight.
Well, he needs to work deep in the games, that's for sure, considering the use of that pen. We'll see how Mike Scioscia plays that out a little bit later on tonight. In order to make room for CJ on the 25-man active roster, J.B. Shuck was optioned down to AAA. Desmond Jennings ready to go here at the bottom of the first, hitting .236, 9 home runs, 28 runs batted in. And he was a big strikeout in the ninth inning for Houston Street, the first out with the bases loaded.
Yeah, real good slider to get a swing and miss.
Jennings ended up going 0 for 5 last night with a couple of punch outs. Center fielder takes low. That's 1 ball, 1 strike. CJ's last start of the big leagues, July the 9th. That was against Toronto. Gave up 6 runs, 3 earned on 8 hits and just 3 2/3. Found out after the game that he had rolled his ankle, so he was placed on the 15-day disabled list. And while rehabbing, realized he had a hip issue as well, some tightness in his hip. Apparently, that had been worked out as well. But even prior to that game in which he rolled his ankle, he had had his issues. Gave up a total of 18 runs, 3 previous starts.
He's really had some problems on the road. First 10 starts, 6-3 with a solid ERA. Last 9 starts, though, an ERA over 6 for CJ. A majority of those last 9 starts on the road. Like Butcher said, is trying to get him back to being aggressive.
That is a called strike 3. Tiger was set up inside and tailed back over the heart of the plate, and there's the first out. We'll take a look at the Angels defensively behind C.J. Wilson this evening. Josh Hamilton in left, Mike Trout at center, Cole Calhoun at right. The infield consists of David Freese, Eric Ibar, Howie Kendrick, and C.J. Cron from third to first, and mentioned Hank behind the plate.
Yeah, with Albert Pujols DH today, C.J. Cron getting his first start at first base since July 9th, 20th start this season. He's committed 1 error at first base. Working hard on as far as getting that lateral movement. Very good as far as picking low throws over first base, though.
There's Ben Zobrist at the start in left field last night, but just started right tonight. .273 average for Zobrist. Ended up going 2 for 5 last night with a double and a single. Also struck out against Street in that 9th inning. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Zobrist, however, has been swinging the bat very well. This Rays team, you know, they dropped the opener last night. Played very good baseball since June the 11th. But Zobrist has hit .343 since June 28th. That's outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. One of the hits that Zobrist had last night, his 21st double of the season. 216 his Rays career, now 2nd all-time behind Evan Longoria. Wilson misses outside. 3 balls, 1 strike. On the season, hitters have hit .249 against Wilson. Righties .266, lefties .200. That one's on the corner. Full count.
That's a real good pitch from CJ. 3-1 count. Spots the fastball at 90. Right on the corner. A good fastball to get Jennings looking. First batter of the game.
This one's pulled to short. Ibar has it. A little bit of a bobble there. And they get Zobrist by a step for round number 2. So Wilson retires the first two batters, and Brandon Guy, the left fielder, coming to the plate. We saw him last night in the ninth inning as he pinch hit, ended up drawing a walk. '59th game for Guyer, .272 average, 11 doubles, a home run, 16 RBIs. This Rays team 9th in the American League in batting average, 5th in on-base percentage, 11th in slugging, and 11th in home runs.
A lot of fastballs early on for CJ. It's good to see, especially trusting in the fastball movement downstairs.
Two balls, no strikes. CJ wanted an appeal there. Mary Vanover had it, didn't need any help. Thirteen pitches for CJ. A lot of strikes so far. Chris Archer threw 16 pitches, top of the first. It's on there. 2-1.
I think one pitch you're going to look for CJ at some point in this game is that hard slider. That's a pitch that went away from him in his last 9 starts. That's a very effective pitch for him.
Lifted, fouled, and out of play. Evens up the count.
Nice change up there from CJ.
Back on May 17th at home. CG, complete game against the Rays. 7 strikeouts, 2 walks, 5 hits. Full count. In his career, he has pretty good numbers against the Rays. 5-2 mark in the .299. He has benefited this year, of course, from terrific run support. The Angels, 6.34 runs per game, 3rd best in Major League Baseball. That is a high fastball, ball 4, 2-out walk.
Real close to being a borderline strike. Didn't get the high fastball. CJ wanted it. Next hitting up inside. It's the top part of the strike zone at 91. I feel like Vanover gave it a good look at it, but did not call it a strike.
CJ will work from the stretch for the first time with 2 outs and Evan Longoria at the plate. .257 average for Longoria, 12 home runs, 54 RBIs last night, a couple of hits. He's credited with an infield base hit, an RBI, and a double he had later on in the game. The first one's way outside.
This is where CJ's got to remain focused, get finished through the inning. 2 quick outs, a strikeout, and a ground out. Now a 2-out walk, but a dangerous hitter up here in Longoria.
Breaking ball. Drops in there for a strike. That was beauty.
Yeah, that's that pitch we're talking about. He's got to have a feel for that one. That's a solid one there. Not only threw it for a strike, and eventually sets up a swing and miss breaking ball from CJ.
That is out to left field and hit well. Hamilton back at the wall, and the Rays have themselves a 2-0 lead. Thirteenth home run of the season for Longoria, now with 56 RBIs.
Well, that pitch has stayed right in the heart of the plate. Longoria crushes that one out to left field.
So last night the Rays struck first. Tonight it's the Rays. Bottom of the Angels, I should say, struck first. Tonight it's the Rays. The old 2-out walk comes back to haunt. Here's Sean Rodriguez. outside.
Now the 15th home run that CJ has allowed this season. 13th to right-handed batters. He allowed 15 home runs all season last year in 212 innings pitched.
Pitch count now at 21. Falls behind again on another batter. 2 balls, no strikes. Rodriguez hitting .234, getting to start at third base tonight. Two nothing Rays on the Evan Longoria home run. 2-2. Full count. Yunel Escobar on deck. On the corner, down goes Rodriguez. The inning comes to an end. But the Rays, after a 2-out walk, take the lead on the Longoria blast. We played one. Tampa Bay leads at 2-0.
Loaded here last night. Eric Ibar going back on the ball, but Mike Trout calls him off. And Eric Ibar runs into a Mack truck. Never a good idea to run into Mike Trout. You're never going to end up on the winning end, but he still got up after that one. But what a job Houston Street did to get through that inning. Good catch by Mike Trout. And Eric is back in the lineup tonight.
I don't think Mike felt any type of collision with Eric. Nothing. It's an afterthought.
He's, oh, were you here?
Exactly.
My bad. But as a shortstop, you're going back until you're called off.
Yeah.
Eric's very good as far as going back on pop-ups, just like Howie Kendrick. Both of them excellent. Waiting to be called off by an outfielder coming in.
Ibar, Kendrick, and Freeze for the Angels here in the second against Chris Archer. Gave up a 2-out single, then struck out Hamilton to finish off that first. .277 average for Eric. 1 for 4 game last night, an RBI single in the first. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Archer, as good a stuff as he has, can get at times rattled. The Angels have gotten to him. Oh, dribble up the first base line, foul. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Right-hander originally a 5th round pick by the Cleveland Indians. Then was traded to the Chicago Cubs, part of the Mark DeRosa trade. And then traded to the Tampa Bay Rays as part of the Matt Garza trade. That's how he became a Rays pitcher. Two. Bouncer foul again.
He does everything well. Very athletic, fields his position well, quick to the plate. And you're right, sometimes when you can bunch some hits together against him, force the issue, he tries to throw even harder, and that's when he'll make a mistake. But his last 13 starts, though, have been very, very good. 2.35 ERA for Archer.
Full count. His last start was on July 27th here against Boston. Gave up 3 runs, 6 hits, 6 innings of work, ended up taking the loss. That was a game in which he gave up the home run to David Ortiz. And Big Poppy pimped it, and Archer didn't like it, said so after the game. 3-2, grounded to second. Forsythe has been busy already. And up steps Howie Kendrick. So now that David Price has moved on to Detroit, Archer can kind of maintain the little, I don't know, more words, I guess you could say, with David Ortiz and the Red Sox.
Yeah, they don't like each other a whole lot, the Red Sox and the Rays. Haven't so in quite some time. Which is that what you want to see when your rivals in the AL East like they are. Always that conversation is the Red Sox and Yankees, but the Rays and the Red Sox got a pretty good one going too.
Breaking pitch for a strike, evens the count. Howie hitless last night, going 0 for 4. Joe Madden in his 9th season here. Pretty much the same coaching staff that he started with. Dave Martinez, his bench coach, has been interviewed a couple of times for some managerial openings.
Yeah, I think he will get a job as a manager at some point. Very smart, good communicator.
There's Dave. Jim Hickey does a great job with his pitching coach. Howie late. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes.
It's amazing what that up and in fastball will do the very next pitch. Because as a hitter, you have to respect that he may come back up and in again against you, and late on a slider.
Hung that one. Howie fouls it back. Like to have that one back.
Yeah, I talked to Joe Madden today about how he's able to keep his team focused, especially after you trade David Price away. You know, he's won a Cy Young for him and all these moves. He said, hey, the bottom line is we're going to make the postseason. And his mindset is they're going to make the postseason. They had an opportunity even last night with the bases loaded. He said that's been the issue, is not getting that key hit at the right time.
Yeah, he liked the effort. He said it after the game last night. He liked the effort, but they got to win games like that. When you're in a position to win a game, you've got to take advantage of it, especially now that you're into August. Imagine now they're 8.5 back in the East. Howie strikes out swinging. 2 down. Second punch out for Archer. Folks, the Angels return home to take on the Dodgers Wednesday and Thursday for the annual Freeway Series. Both games starting at 7:05. Don't miss out on the only regular season matchup between these two teams at the Big A. And purchase your tickets at the Angel Stadium ticket office or by logging on at angels.com. 2 up, 2 down. Here's David Freese. They're looking to slide it for a strike. A couple more hits last night for Freese. 2 for 4 with a double and a single. Matched a career high with 4 hits 2 nights ago.
6 hits you mentioned the last couple of games, and even watching his batting practice session today, all he was trying to do was hit the ball up the middle. Feels he can adjust on a mistake pitch on the inner half and hit it out like he did yesterday off the wall in left field, but for the most part, he's going to use that middle part of the field to be successful.
Oh, 2 downstairs. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Rays striking 2 runs in the first inning. A 2-out home run by Evan Longoria, his 13th of the year. Rays, they're going to want an appeal here. Yeah. Pretty much swung and put the bat back in the bat rack. Halos are done here in the second, I should say. 3 up and 3 down. We head to the bottom of the second. Still 2-0 Rays. Field in St. Petersburg, Florida. Coming up later in the game, we'll bring you the AT fan photo of the game, but we need your help. Tweet us your photo using hashtag WestFanPhoto, and guess what? It could be shown in an upcoming game broadcast. Easy for me to say. Odds are we're going to have a photo shown a little bit later. Nachos.
That looks pretty good.
Hungry now. Yunel Escobar takes downstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. Escobar, Loney, and Casale for the Tampa Bay Rays. Yunel hitting .256, 4 home runs, 25 RBIs. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that is 4 straight batters in which he's started. 2 balls, no strikes. Escobar. Skies went out to right. Cole Calhoun drifting to his left. Put away.
Now it's time for Coors Light Cold Hard Facts, brought to you by Frost Brew Coors Light. The Angels since May 9th. Mike Scioscia, 49-26 record, which is best in the majors. But the Rays since June 11th. Joe Madden, 29-14. Best in the majors during that period of time. So both clubs, we talked about it yesterday as far as run differential in the month of July. Top 2 teams in the majors, and you can see why with their records.
Leadoff man retired. James Loney at the plate. First pitch fastball in for a strike. Loney doubled off the top of the wall last night, going 1 for 4. 22nd double of the year. .280 average. Wilson drops down, misses inside. Just a .233 average for James Loney against left-handed pitching. Said right-handers do a .300 average. It's outside, 2-1.
He's a good high ball hitter too. And what we've seen when CJ drops down to that arm angle, that very next pitch, very difficult for him to get the arm back up in the proper arm slot to finish off his next pitch. Slider well off the plate after that drop down fastball the pitch before.
Off speed. Something off the fastball, I should say. And it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pretty good location on that last pitch. One more tomorrow here in Tampa. And it's back home to at Dodger Stadium. 2 at the Big A against the Dodgers. Beginning on Wednesday, the Red Sox in for 3 next weekend, and then the Philadelphia Phillies. This one's bounced back up the middle, a base hit. Jammed him, but able to muscle through the infield. Loney's on board. Second hit of the night for the Rays. Kurt Casale, the catcher, will come to the plate. Jose Molina got the start behind the plate last night. 6th game in the big leagues for Casale. 25-year-old. Born in Walnut Creek, but grew up in Connecticut. Went to Vanderbilt. 10th round pick of the Tigers in 2011. He got traded to the Rays prior to last year. A bouncer foul. 2 for 15 to start his big league career.
CJ's ability to get a ground ball double play looks like Casale could be a guy that CJ can get through this inning and keep that pitch count manageable with a ground ball double play.
Pitch missing in.
And CJ's pitch count will probably be around 95 to 105 range tonight.
On the corner. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Escobar with a fly to right, Loney with a single, and now Casale with a 2 ball, 2 strike count.
And we talked about how important the slider is going to be for CJ tonight. Still not quite the same fluid mechanics as his fastball. Going to maintain that same arm angle, keep the shoulders level as he throws his slider.
Full count.
Because he's been able to spot his fastball well. He's just been jumping out in front on his slider and hasn't been able to finish it off quite as consistently as his fastball, especially when he's throwing his fastball away. Another full count for CJ.
40 pitches through an inning and a third certainly doesn't help things. Although throwing a ground ball double play would get you out of this second inning. Short lead for Loney at first. And he walks Casale. 8th place hitter is on board via the base on balls. It's the second walk issued by Wilson. 2 on now with 1 out. Logan Forsythe, the 9th place hitter, coming up.
Look at a pitch arsenal for CJ this season. 58% of his pitches fastball. That's 2-seam, 4-seam, and cut fastball. His changeup, 13%. Breaking ball, whether it's his curveball or slider, 29%. You see how important that slider is for CJ, especially when you're close to 30% of your pitches are sliders. You need that feel early on in the season. Devastating slider. Last 9 starts or so, not as good.
41 pitches, just 20 strikes. Forsythe looks at strike 1. 248 average for the second baseman. 3 home runs and 16 runs batted in. Got into 75 games last year with the San Diego Padres in 214. 1 ball, 1 strike. Forsythe coming over in the Alex Torres trade with the Padres. He himself a former first-round pick, Forsythe, that is, in 08. Former Razorback.
A lot of opening over there on that right side of the infield for Forsythe. CJ Cron, the only fielder over there, off the bag enough to try to have some sort of coverage over there.
This one shot to the alley, right center field. Will get down for a hit. It'll bring in a run. Heading to third is Casale. 3-0 Rays. Forsythe with his 17th RBI.
It's almost seeing Forsythe was just trying to go that way. He let the ball travel. Yeah. That's exactly what he was trying to do. With that opening on that side of the field, just trying to punch the ball that way. It was elevated. But that's the approach he was having. He's let the baseball travel. He was going to go inside out. He tucked his hands in and let it travel and hit it to that side of the field. Good piece of hitting.
Casale ends up at third, so runners at the corners, and here's Desmond Jennings. Still 1 out here in the second. Jennings a strikeout victim into first. Pulls this one foul.
Like use the strikeout now. CJ against Jennings, just 2 for 19 with 6 punch-outs, including 1 tonight. Keep this close, especially the way Archer has thrown against the Angels in his career. And a good bullpen Tampa has.
Push bunt on the first base side. Wilson thought about coming home, and now he doesn't even get the out at first. 4-0 Rays. Poor decision by C.J. Wilson.
More of a safety squeeze put on. And then when you make that fake throw, especially the way Jennings could run down the line, now all of a sudden you put yourself up for a potential big inning going against you.
You got 1 out. You're looking for outs. You're struggling to get outs. And you've just been gifted 1. You've got to take advantage of it.
Now, if you get to that ball quickly, you can shovel past the home and have it play at the plate. But you have to be quick on your throw. Once you don't make that play, you have to go right to first base to stay away from a big inning.
So in a game in which the Angels would have liked to have seen a couple of zeros put up on the board early after Oakland won this afternoon, the Rays have struck for 2 in the first, 2 so far here in the second. Still 1 out. Runners at first and second base. Zobrist takes low. Oh for 1 as he grounded out to short.
We indeed see some action down in the bullpen, and there is some movement down there already. I think maybe Michael Roth will be up.
Yeah. Called up before the game yesterday. Another bunt on the third base line. CJ fields it, fires to first, and safe at first. So back-to-back bunt singles, loads them up for Geyer.
And CJ got off quickly off the mound there, but the slight stumble, unable to set his feet and throw to first base. One thing about Joe Maddon, they look at all kinds of tape to get that little bit of an advantage, whatever you can get as far as an advantage against a very good pitcher like CJ Wilson. Forcing the issue, dealing with that ankle injury that CJ had. That's why he went on the DL, forcing it, see what he could do with a bunt. 2 consecutive bunt hits for Tampa.
Corey Rasmus is the first man up for the Angels. And that may be just a product of to give the Rays a different look as opposed to going lefty-lefty. Rasmus to get you out of the inning, and then you go.
Yeah, Rasmus has done a fantastic job for Mike Scioscia out of bullpen. He's given us some length out of the bullpen also in some key situations. Might be forced to come in here early, be able to keep this a close game if possible.
5 hits for the Rays, 1 out here in the second, 4-0, and they've got the bases loaded. Geyer drew a walk in the first. Scored on the Longoria home run. Swings the breaking ball, fouls it off to the right. Next pitch will be the 50th for CJ. That's line to center. It'll get down for a hit. 1 run in. Desmond Jennings hustling around, and it's 6-0 Rays.
Tell you what, that was pretty good base running by Jennings. He saw that ball being down. That was hit so hard. Most runners at second are going to freeze to make sure that's down, but he read it well and scored rather easily on that base hit by Geyer. Otherwise, there's no way. Most times you're not going to score from second base on a ball hit like that. Mike Scioscia has seen enough right now.
So C.J. Wilson, first start off the DL, not so good. Inning in a third, he departs with a couple of men on, and the Angels down 6-0. For the second, 1 out, and a pitching change already as Mike Scioscia has gone to the bullpen. Corey Rasmus is on in relief. CJ threw 50 pitches, inning in a third, shortest outing of the year. 6 hits, 6 runs. He's responsible for the 2 guys on base. And tonight's first relief pitcher is being delivered by the UPS store. 19th game for Corey. 2-1 record and a 2.10 ERA. Facing Evan Longoria with Zobrist at second and Geyer at first base. Home run that Longoria hit in the first inning. His 13th of the year. 2-run shot. And Rasmus delivers a strike.
Well, clearly plenty of time left in this game for the Angels to come back, but you have to stop it right here with the guy that hit a home run in Longoria in the first inning.
That's up and in. Two balls, one strike. Longoria, the 8th man to bat here in the second. Escobar retired to start off the inning on a fly ball to right. Loney a single. Casale with a walk. Forsythe an RBI single. Jennings the RBI infield bunt base hit. Zobrist with a bunt base hit. And then Geyer with a 2 RBI single to center. 2-1. Skied. It's a shallow center. Kendrick backpedaling out. Infield fly rules called by Gabe Morales, the second base umpire. 2 outs. So the long-awaited second now recorded here. And Sean Rodriguez comes to the plate. Struck out looking down the first. Zobrist, the base runner at second, and Geyer still at first. Rodriguez takes a strike.
Well, Rasmus really has that slider working for him. His curveball's been solid, fastball command plus changeup. It's enabled him to be able to go a couple innings coming out of the bullpen for Scioscia.
Fastball on the corner. I didn't think Larry Vanover was going to call it a strike. That's an incredibly good pitch. It's 0-2. Breaking pitch, chopped foul at the plate. 6-0 Rays here in the second. They've gone through the order 1.5 times now. The Angels have yet to get through their order once. Archer with the 1-2-3 second. That's 3 strikeouts, 1 hit allowed tonight. All the while, he's just hanging out on the bench, enjoying the run support. Upstairs with the fastball, 1-2. Second shortest outing of C.J. Wilson's career. The shortest was that 1/3 of an inning in Texas back in 2012. It had that really long rain delay. And then eventually pitched the next day, got to start the following day. So officially that's his shortest outing, 1/3 of an inning. But tonight an inning and a third. Oh, tapper fouls. The count remains 1-2.
It's really surprising when a couple opportunities to talk to CJ over the last few days where he's felt confident those adjustments he's made. He had good bullpen sessions. Well, but all of a sudden his confidence was not there prior to hurting his ankle. Then all of a sudden you have a game like this for CJ, considering how well he was throwing in his sessions in between starts. In his rehab assignment, which he threw 81 pitches in Double-A, threw the ball well.
Rodriguez grounds this one to short. Ibar goes on to first, and this inning finally comes to an end. Rays sent 9 men to the plate, score 4 times. We'll head to the third. The Angels down 6-0. And Calhoun. Oh, IGGY. CJ Cron leading things off. Good music here at the Trop. Cron looks to the strike. CJ getting the start at first base tonight with Albert serving the DH. 266 average for Cron. 9 home runs, 29 RBIs. Pulls this one to third base. Sean Rodriguez has it. One down.
Even at that long half inning, Archer right out there and attacking the strike zone, gets a ground ball out right away.
Catcher, number 24, Hank Hunter.
When in that conversation I was mentioned earlier, talking with Joe Madden, you move David Price. He said, can you imagine this rotation if you had James Shields, David Price, Alex Cobb, and these are all homegrown products from the Rays. And then you mix in Archer, Matt Moore when he comes back. He said you can make an argument that would be the best rotation in the American League if those guys were all wearing Tampa Bay Ray jerseys. That's not the case.
One ball, one strike on Hank. 233 average with 3 home runs, 22 runs batted in. I'd had to get the start behind the plate last night, had a couple of doubles. Hank pops this one up, middle of the infield.
Escobar calls for it. 2 outs. So back to the top of the order we go with Cole Calhoun. It's his first start for Hank since Tuesday against Baltimore. Cole over one, grounded out to second base. This one's ripped to right field, a base hit. Forsythe, good leap, but wasn't going to get there. So Cole is on board. Mike Trout.
Last night, the first. One on. Cole Calhoun. Rocket. Left field bleached his 25th home run of the season. His 60th extra base hit. Could use one right here now, especially after that base hit by Cole. The Angels get right back in the game. Trout certainly with one swing in the back and cut that lead down to 4.
Mike looks at a strike. He popped out to Forsythe in the first inning. So he's 0 for 1. So 60 extra base hits, tying him for first in Major League Baseball. 25 and 78. Youngest player to be 75 and or 25 and 78. 25 home runs, 78 runs batted in. At this point in August, since Albert, 2001. He's behind in the count at 0-2. With that pop up in the first inning, Trout now 4 for 8 in his career against Archer. Calhoun over at first. Way outside, and it gets away from Casale. Calhoun will put himself in the scoring position. I wonder if they'll call that a pass ball.
Casale, you would think, would be able to get that slider, anticipating a breaking ball, especially well ahead of the count. You can expand the strike zone off the glove.
Never mind. Wild pitch. It's kind of like the error we thought on Freeze last night. Infield base hit. So whatever we think it is, let's just go with the opposite.
Go the other way.
Yeah, just go the other way. 1-2 now. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. And the Angels are done here in the third. We'll head to the bottom of the third. 6-0 Rays. Boston Red Sox in the Big A for a 3-game set August 8th through the 10th. Purchase your tickets at the Angel Stadium ticket office or log on at angels.com. Be sure to pick up a scorecard too, because it's the new look Boston Red Sox.
A lot of different players on that Red Sox club. Cespedes played left field today.
At Fenway, huh?
Yep.
It's kind of a waste of an arm.
I was thinking they might put him in right field.
Escobar takes up and away. He hit a fly ball to start off the second inning. So he's 0 for 1. It's kind of like when they signed Carl Crawford and put him out in left field. Carl wasn't fond of playing in Boston.
No, he said that a couple times now since that point.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, he said it the other day. He's happy to get out of Boston. Escobar the first down here, the third.
You would think Alan Craig would be better suited to play left field at Fenway, and Cespedes in right field. One of the great arms over the years, especially Dwight Evans in right field for the Red Sox. Strong, accurate throwing arm. A long throw over to third base and even towards home, especially when it gets in that deep corner in right center field.
At left field, he might have to dial it down.
Yeah.
I don't think he knows how to throttle down the arm.
No. He's liable to throw a few in the stands from that point.
Heads up. That throw to get Howie Kendrick at the plate.
Unbelievable.
That was ridiculous. Maloney takes outside. It's 1 ball, no strikes. He started the Rays rally in the second with a base hit just to the right of Howie Kendrick. Rasmus came in and got the last 2 outs in the second inning on a pop-up and a ground out. Gets back into the count with a breaking pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. We were talking about CJ last inning and the struggles that he continues to have. Not only hits, but earned runs allowed. And it's been a problem that has plagued him. And just from a pitcher's perspective, 1-1's line to left and a base hit. So Loney is 2 for 2. It seemed as if tonight, and it continues to be anyway, lack of command. Number 1, getting ahead of early in the count of the fastball, and 2, no secondary pitches. And if you don't have a secondary pitcher you can show consistently, they're just going to sit fastball, and that's what these Rays did.
Yeah, and I think until he gets a better feel for his slider, maybe he goes back. He used to throw a lot of cut fastballs back in the day and was very successfully throwing his cut fastball in against right-handers, sinking the fastball away. Until you get a feel for his slider, he's getting real loopy, and he's really pushing forward quickly on his delivery on breaking pitches. He's got to try to stay back. First and foremost, you have to throw his fastball for strikes. And you're right. The number of 1-0, 2-0 counts, followed by full counts for CJ. And we've said it so often, CJ stuff is way too good to ever even think about nibbling on the outside part of the plate or inside part. Just go challenge hitters and challenge down and get ground balls. There's a reason why since 2010 he's gotten 106 ground ball double plays. He could be a ground ball out machine if he gets back to attacking in the lower part of the strike zone.
Yeah, we haven't seen a whole lot of that. Cut on and missed by Casale.
He's as an important part of this pitching staff as anybody. And that includes Jarrett Weaver and Garrett Richards. CJ is that important to this staff.
Even more so now with Tyler Skaggs on the DL. I'll even go one further. I'm trying to remember the last time you got a swing and a miss on a breaking ball, on a curve ball from CJ.
Yeah, majority of his strikeouts lately have been looking.
Yeah.
His 2 strikeouts tonight, both looking again.
Good chunk of the time that hard slider has been, guys has just spat on, especially right-handed batters, because it's out of the strike zone to begin with. It never looks like a strike.
He's getting around his slider, not on top of the baseball. To be a true hard slider, you get on top of the baseball and then you snap it. He's getting a looping and around on his slider, becomes a bigger break, but a break that hitters don't swing at.
I like your idea of going back to that cutter.
Yeah, until you can get a feel.
Both sides.
Really, a true cutter for me is still a slider.
Right. Called strike 3. Down goes Casale, 2 down.
If he gets back to that, he can dominate once again. And I think that's something he should explore as far as getting back to his dominating self. Speaking of dominating, 92-mile-an-hour fastball in the outside corner for Rasmus.
CJ's ERA over the last 10 starts now, including tonight, at 7.21. It was an even 3 in his first 10 starts of the year. I believe you me, the scouting reports, the video, all gets around.
Yeah.
I mean, at some point, teams make adjustments. I mean, you talk about a team that he shut down. Complete game.
Yeah, they had no chance against them in that last start back in Anaheim.
Loney still at first. Forsythe, the RBI single in the second. He's 1 for 1. 0-2 now. 17th run batted in for Forsythe. Ray's team sneaks up on you, and they continue to do so offensively. We mentioned the numbers earlier. Failed to mention in runs scored, 13th in the American League, but dropping a 6th spot on the Angels through 2 innings. Way outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
When you look at the lineup that Joe Maddon puts in there each and every night, it's never the same lineup. Juggles it around very well. He has guys playing different positions, different spots in the order, asked to do different things during the course of the game to be successful.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Figure Corey, if he can get out of this one now, probably count on him for 1 more inning. Top of the order on deck at Desmond Jennings. This is a team that the last thing you wanted to do, considering the games, the tight games, the extra inning games in Baltimore, that you wanted to do is go into the bullpen early. From 0-2 to 3-2. Tried to get him with 3 straight sliders.
And it's forcing a lot more innings out of a bullpen again tonight, especially with Colin Cowgill getting very close to coming back. I would not be surprised to see him activated Monday or Tuesday, especially on Tuesday when you think about Kershaw on the mound for the Dodgers.
Loney takes off. 3-2. On the corner, down goes Forsythe. Back-to-back strikeouts for Rasmus. We've played 3 here in St. Petersburg, Florida. 6-0 Reds.
good. A rocket for a base hit. His first time up. Needs to get that bat working right now to get the offense going. Plenty of time to come back, but he's got to be starting right now.
3, 4, and 5 for the Angels. Pujols, Hamilton, and Ibar. Albert 1 for 1 with a base at the left. But the 2 hits allowed by Archer tonight. Has 4 strikeouts, no walks. It is early. Angels have time. This offense can put up runs and do it in bunches. The last time the Angels overcame a 6-run deficit to win June 20th last year against Seattle, down 7-0 in the middle of the 3rd.
Wasn't that against King Felix also?
Yeah. Albert lifts it out to shallow right field. Zobrist.
That's a good start
there. Yep. It's a blast in the box score.
A rock at the left and a rock at the right. Another multi-hit game for Pujols.
That stat, by the way, courtesy of Matthew Birch, the Angels PR staff. Hamilton nearly homered in the first inning. An off-speed pitch just to the right of the foul pole for Archer. Came back with another changeup and struck him out. So Josh 0 for 1. Good sinking catch. And it's no balls and a strike.
Yeah, you would think after that fastball there, he's going to try to back it up with a changeup away. He shook off a changeup away. He's going to go try fastball in now.
Lifted foul and out of play. It's an 0-2 count.
Back inside with another fastball.
Called strike 3. Hamilton doesn't like that call either. And it seems like both sides have been complaining a little bit with Larry Vanover.
It looks like this pitch got the inside corner though. He gets it.
That is a paint job there. Looks like a strikeout looking for Archer. He has 5 in the game. 1 out, 1 on, and here's Ibar. Grounded out to Forsythe, the second baseman. Albert 2 for 2 with a couple of singles. Loney playing behind him. 1-1. It's fouled off to left.
Played by a fan. I'll tell you, there's a decent crowd here again tonight. It was over 20,000 here last night. It's even more so tonight.
Joe Madden, Mr. Potato Head giveaway.
Good reason to come to the ballpark then.
1-2. Upstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Didn't Don Rickles play Mr. Potato Head in the Toy Story movies?
I'll take your word for it. Let's go to imdb.com.
There it is.
Looks just like him.
Yes.
Spitting image.
The glasses, perfect.
Foul at the plate. Ibar works the walk, and the first issued by Chris Archer. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Los Angeles Angels. May not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. Rights and descriptions of this game not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels Baseball LP.
Great numbers for Howie in his career here at the Trop. 357. Always had a lot of family and friends come to the game. Raised in Florida.
Yeah, he said he had a bunch of friends in town this weekend. Now he shoots one down the right field line. Long run for Zobrist, not going to get there. It goes over the wall. Automatic double.
This can get interesting right now.
It is 6-1. Howie with his 24th double, 46th RBI.
And right on cue, those numbers here at the Trop. High fastball goes the other way and right down the right field line. Kicks in and over the stands for a ground rule double.
So David Freese will bat. Runners at second and third and one out. David a strikeout victim into second. Just below the knees. Right, can you say Archer is a sneaky 97 mile per hour fastball?
No question. Slow, fluid delivery, then all of a sudden that fastball gets right on you. You throw 92 to 97 depending on his two-seam or four-seam fastball. And because he's so quick with his fastball, you get swings like that against his slider. Because he'll live downstairs at 93, 94 with his two-seam fastball, but upstairs he's 95 to 97 with his four-seam fastball.
One and two.
Well, it's real important for David to at least get one of these runs back right now, especially second and third. Not that you ever want to make it out, but if you're going to make it out, make sure it's a ground ball, the middle part of the infield that'll allow Eric Ibar to score the second run of the game for the Angels.
Crone on deck. Way outside, blocked by Casali. And it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Single by Pujols. With 1 out, Ibar walked. Kendrick, a double down the right field line, brought in a run. Now the 2-2. Chopper over to third. Rodriguez has it. Thought about coming home. Ibar scores. 6-2 Rays as Freese picks up his 35th RBI.
That would have been a difficult throw for Rodriguez to throw the home. You could open yourself up for a big inning going against you if you make a bad throw. It was wise to throw the first base to get the second out.
And Howie ended up staying at second. That's a play where he.
Yeah, especially because we've seen Archer already bounce a pitch or two in the dirt.
Got to end up at third base there, especially on a ball the third baseman's charging. So man at second with 2 outs now. C.J. Cron at the plate.
Much better with runners on base, especially in scoring position for him here. 345 as compared to bases empty under 200.
Oh, pretty close. C.J. Cron 0 for 1. He grounded out to Rodriguez leading off the third. Slider outside.
Now after CJ was sent in on a zone right now. One swing in the bat, that all of a sudden you're right back in the game. Look for a fastball. Try to elevate it enough. And then put a good swing at it.
And that is ripped to left field, a base hit. It got out to left field in a hurry, so Kendrick has to stop at third base. So not moving to third base cost the Angels a run. First and third, 2 outs, and Conger coming up.
And there's no way Gary DiSarcina can send Howie. That ball was hit too hard. And he did make a good pass at a fastball. Hit well by C.J. Cron. Continues to swing the bat well with runners on. Jim Hickey, the pitching coach, going to come out now. Yeah, that play, when you have a third baseman coming in on the ball, there's no way he's going to be able to react to come back to third. He's throwing the first.
Well, he's got 2 things on his mind. He's got the runner going home, and he's got the guy running to first. He's not even thinking about the base runner at second base.
And as you try to get back into games, any way you can get a run across, you want that.
A long conversation with Jim Hickey. There's that bouncer we were talking about off the bat of Free. See how he's going back. You should be going all the way to third. If anything, you're walking to your right towards third base halfway. He's not even looking at you as a base runner.
Yeah, he's not going to make the throw towards second, because then you're in the same situation. You're going to have to make a tag play.
Yeah.
Just like that would be a tag play at home. That's why Sean Rodriguez did the smart thing by throwing the first base.
There's Conger. Takes down low. A nice dig by Casale. 1-0. There's not much you could do there. A fastball in the dirt like that.
You just hope it hits your glove and stays in the glove. And that's exactly what it did at 95.
Hank popped down on the infield in the third inning. So he's 0 for 1. 7th man to bat here in the 4th inning. 3 hits for the Halos. 2 runs in. Runners at first and third. Outside, 2-0.
Joe Smith, Jason Grilli smiling, thinking, hey, you know what? One swing in the bat by Hank Conger. All of a sudden, this is a game we may be able to get into tonight again.
And that is ripped into right field. That'll go for extra bases. Kendrick scores. Cron on his way to third. DiSarcina is going to slam on the brakes. It's a double for Conger. It is 6-3.
You might see Joe Madding getting that bullpen working for Tampa now. Well, right down the heart of the plate. What a swing by Hank, right down the line. By Forsythe for a double.
So 3 runs in. 6-3 Rays. Still 2 outs here in the 4th, and Cole now at the plate. He's 1 for 2. A ground ball to second and a base hit to right. Way upstairs.
Well, right now Archer's lost command of his fastball and his slider.
That's the one little thing that it's in the scouting report with Chris Archer. You can get to him a little bit. He kind of comes off the rails just for a little bit.
Yeah,
and if you don't take advantage of it, he'll go back into lockdown mode.
That's exactly what he's going to say. You better take advantage of it now.
2-0.
Back in another great hitters count. We've seen that with Crone. We saw it with Hank. Now with Cole. You also got to be aware of something in the dirt as Archer's pressing, trying to get a feel for his pitch. He may even throw a slider. He may bounce it.
Changeup.
Pretty smart pitch by Archer.
Very Matt Shoemaker-like.
Yes.
Three infielders on the right side. Rodriguez, the third baseman between shortstop and the third base position, playing in. 2-1 now. Upstairs, 3 balls and a strike, and there's some action in the Rays bullpen now.
Then you got Mike Trout on deck. You know, if you're Cole Calhoun, you're going to get a fastball. Just look for that zone. Don't expand your zone against a pitcher who's struggling right now.
Three-1. Expanded his zone on the changeup.
And he knows it. He's frustrated.
And if you're Archer, if you're thinking that way, as Jeff Beliveau gets ready now, he pitched last time. If you're Archer and Casale, you've got a guy out there with that swing anyway that's overly aggressive. Why not throw another changeup?
I was thinking you almost have to throw a changeup again. Although these 2 changeups that Cole has swung at in this sequence, in this full count, both have been out of the strike zone, though.
Crone standing at third, Conger at second. Payoff pitch. And he walked. No, it's a cold strike 3. Larry Vandover. Are you kidding me? Nowhere near the strike zone. The Angels score 3. It's 6-3 Rays. Member of our award-winning graphics department, lost a courageous and relentless battle with cancer. Billy began his Fox Sports career in 1997 and was an integral part of much of what you see in our daily live broadcasts. Billy's dedication to his craft, his strength of character, and his devotion to his lovely daughter Zoe and his family and many friends will continue to inspire all who knew him. He will be profoundly missed. Bottom of the 4th inning, the Angels trailing this one 6-3. New pitcher Joe Thatcher takes over on the mound for Corey Rasmussen. Our in and out, who's in, who's out. Rasmus an inning and 2/3, 1 hit, 2 strikeouts. Now Thatcher to face the top of the order here. Jennings, Zobrist, and Geyer. First one missed it. Thatcher pitching in his 8th game with the Angels. 1-1 mark at 6.75 ERA. Just 2 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 1 strikeout, 1 walk.
So important for Joe to come in and put a quick 0 up there, especially how many pitches could Archer threw last inning.
Jennings tonight 1 for 2, an RBI single and a strikeout.
Oh, wait, another great job by Corey Rasmus once again for the Halos.
By the way, that last pitch to Cole Calhoun, nowhere near the strike zone, rung up by Larry Vanover.
That's a huge pitch. This would have been bases loaded with Trout up.
Cal remains at a ball and 2 strikes.
3-2 count. Fastball above the letters.
Jennings fouls it off to the right. Well, Fox tracks, we have it in the booth. Each pitch was above the strike zone. You could probably look it up on your MLB at bat app. But it is what it is. The strike zone's been kind of a little bit all over the place today with Larry Vanover. Both guys, or both teams I should say, have been barking back to Larry, the veteran. Inside 2-2. This one looped down the right field line, slicing foul. So still the 2 balls and 2 strikes. And that is hit the left. Hamilton comes in, makes a catch, and there's the first down here in the 4th. Took 9 pitches, but it gets the first down here in the 4th inning. It upsets Ben Zobrist, switch hitting outfielder. Started right field tonight, 1 for 2. Ground down and a single.
Zobrist, a very solid hitter from both sides of the plate. You see why a lot of clubs were interested in picking him up in a deal.
Caught the inside corner for a strike. Versatile player, could bounce around the infield and the outfield. This one's pulled toward the hole and through. Ivar couldn't come up with it. Second hit of the night for Zobrist. Comes with 1 out here in the 4th. Geyer will step to the plate. Thatcher's pitching for the first time since July 21st. And that was at home against the Orioles. That was a 1 batter appearance. Ended up hitting that batter. Pitching 4 straight games. 3 against Seattle and 1 against Baltimore. But hasn't pitched since. Until today. Geyer, the left fielder tonight. A walk and a 2 RBI single. That was the last batter CJ faced in the second inning. Wilson lasting an inning and a third. 6 runs, all earned, 6 hits, including the home run to Longoria. 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Thatcher, 32 years of age, native of Indiana. Geyer looks at a strike. Got to the big leagues for the first time in '07 with the Padres. Last 2 seasons with the Diamondbacks before the Angels picked him up. Originally in the Brewers system. 1-1 pitch. Outside. 2 balls, 1 strike.
"14 pitches already thrown for Thatcher." Hasn't been able to throw a secondary pitch quite yet to be able to get a strike down in the zone and get a ground ball at someone.
A bunt on the third base line. Thatcher picks it up, has no play, and may have hurt himself. So the third bunt base hit for the Rays tonight. The Angels may have lost one of their relievers here.
So he might have got his cleat caught in this field turf, then rolled his ankle. And he certainly doesn't look real comfortable here right now. There's no doubt that he's going to be out of the game. So he tries to plant to be able to turn and throw back towards first, and then the ankle gives way. Not a lot of give in that field turf when you're trying to plant that foot and throw back towards first base for Joe.
So Scioscia has to go to the bullpen here. Michael Roth is going to be coming into the game. And he'll have all the time in the world to get ready. So this will be the third reliever. Michael Roth here. He was hoping that Thatcher could give you 1 or 2 innings. But now Roth comes into the game. And not only that, he has to face Evan Longoria, the right-handed batter, with 2 men on base. This after the Angels just put 3 on the board.
And it's going to take Michael Roth a little bit longer, even though he's down in the bullpen. He has started all season long in the minor leagues. So you're going to take a few more pitches than normal. A lot of times when guys out of the bullpen, it doesn't take a whole lot for them to get ready, even when they're forced into this action on the game field, game mound. Here Roth is going to go through all his pitches. Going to be asked to only be able to get Longoria and potentially Sean Rodriguez out, but get some length in this game out of the bullpen for the Angels to keep it close and let the offense get back to swinging the bat against Archer.
Well, 1 game this year, that was on July the 5th against Houston, with 2 innings, all zeros, picked up the win. Ben Zobrist at second base, Brandon Guyer at first, and Longoria stepping to the plate. Just went back to that July 5th game. That was the game Hector Santiago started against the Astros, and the Angels down at 1.5 to 1. 8 runs in the 7th inning of that game. Pick up the win. First one in for a strike. This is lined over to third. One hopper by Freese to the backhand, touches the bag, fires across the diamond, and it's a double play.
Yeah, that could be huge as this game progresses now. A ground ball double play. Nice play by David Freese.
Halos have now 6-3, and they'll have 3, 4, and 5 coming up.
The new Jalapeno Rancher Barbecue Ultimate Cheeseburgers. By Time Warner Cable, enjoy better. By the 2014 Camry at your Toyota dealer today, we make it easy. And by AT&T, mobilizing your world.
Oh, the Ray Tank out at right center field here at Tropicana Field. 6-3 Rays. There it is.
It's really cool to visit when you get down here to the Trop.
I misspoke when I said 3, 4, and 5 coming up. 2, 3, and 4. Trout was on deck when Cole Calhoun was rung up to end that 4th inning. Archer facing 8 men in that 4th inning, allowing 3 runs on 4 hits. Mike tonight is 0 for 2, a pop-up and a strikeout. That one missed low. 2 balls, no strikes. Inside. 3-0. And it's a 4-pitch walk. Leadoff man on board for Albert Pujols. Second free pass issued by Archer.
He still doesn't have a feel for his pitches,
which is amazing considering how the first 3 innings played out for him.
And Albert with already 2 hits. A lot of room on that right side of the infield once again, with Trout being held on by James Loney.
Trout takes off. Albert takes down and away. The throw down. Not in time. A stolen base for Trout.
Boy, a huge jump for Trout. Archer really not paying attention to him, not thinking he's going to go. Easily slides in for his 11th stolen base.
11th stolen base and his first since June 24th against Minnesota.
Big, because now in scoring position for a man who already has 2 hits in the game.
And Jim Hickey's going to come out.
Trout is fast.
Yeah.
He goes from 10 base, stolen base to 26.
Well, it happens to all of us, man. Sometimes you look down at the numbers very quickly. Initially, they said Albert Pujols' 5th stolen base, and now they've given Trout his 26th.
He is fast.
Yeah. I love it. Try it again.
Yeah, we all get caught up in the numbers for Mike Trout.
You know what, man? It happens. We're humans. Can't sweat the small stuff.
Nope.
Action again in the Rays bullpen. 1 ball, no strikes on Albert. 1-0 pitch. Fell back.
Pretty good pitch to drive, and Pujols just fouled that one back. Well, Pujols seems to be locked in against Archer.
Chase to break and pitch. And it is 1-2.
A lot of times when you have the pitch you want to drive and you miss a foul back, you expand your strike zone, and that's what Albert did on that slider.
Beliveau, the left-hander. Kirby Yates, the right-hander. Beliveau was up last inning. One-two on the way. Check swing. Went around. Vic Carapazza rings him up. 1 down.
CBD crossed the plate. Look, he crossed it.
So Hamilton at the plate. Trout still at second. Josh has struck out twice. Swinging in the first inning. Looking on an inside fastball in the 4th. As it cuts through the first pitch off speed.
Hamilton has seen a number of changeups from Archer in this game. Seen some fastballs, mainly fastball changeup.
Oh, 2.
Back with another changeup to him.
87 pitches thrown by Archer. 7 punch outs, 2 walks, 6 hits allowed. Rays had 9 hits so far. They're just in the top of the 5th inning. Just inside.
We wonder if that fastball in was just a setup for his changeup away. And he came back to the changeup. He tried to make a perfect pitch with it instead of just trusting his mechanics. All of a sudden, the count even up.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Trout a leadoff walk on 4 pitches, stole. The very first pitch to Albert. 11th stolen base. Poole struck out. Beliveau sitting down now. Yates still loosening. Just got a piece of that off-speed pitch. Keeps his at-bat alive.
And what Don Baylor wants to see from Josh is on his all-speed pitch, whether changeup or curveball away, is go the other way. Seems like Josh is still trying to pull that pitch.
There's the defensive alignment. Escobar shading toward the middle, but not a full overshift. Jennings shallow and toward the alley and left center, the opposite way for Hamilton. He's over shallow and left. Two on the way. Swing and a miss. Casale will have to throw down to first to complete the strikeout. 2 outs. So Hamilton has struck out 3 times tonight against Archer.
This time he comes with a slider in the dirt. Casale has to follow through with a throw to the first base on that hard slider. Swing and miss against Hamilton.
So Trout still anchored at second base. Eric Ibar at the plate. A ground out of the second, a walk, and a run scored in the 4th. 6-3 Rays. Tampa Bay scoring twice in the first and 4 times in the second inning against C.J. Wilson. Last an inning and a third tonight. The Angels scoring 3 times in the 4th. Evens up the count.
All of a sudden, a lot more off-speed pitches in the last couple of innings for Archer. Yeah. A real good fastball going on early.
Gave up those 4 hits in that 4th inning. He was falling behind in counts. Angel hitters getting that fastball and turning on it. One and 2.
Still good life when he throws his fastball. With a 95 inside. He's definitely fallen into some patterns where after a fastball in, he'll go change up away.
He's about to throw his 95th pitch. We play here in the 5th inning. 1-2 to Ibar. This one's pulled over to Loney. And the leadoff walk stranded at second base. As Archer strikes out Pujols and Hamilton and gets Ibar to roll into that soft out at first. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th. Rays still on top. Our upcoming schedule, mentioned one more tomorrow against the Rays. And the quote-unquote road trip continues in Southern California, 2 at Dodger Stadium as the Freeway Series kicks off on Monday. Then it's back home, 2 with the Dodgers, 3 with the Red Sox. Off day on Monday the 11th, then the Phillies in town for 2. Then the nice little road trip coming up. 2 long road trips here in mid-August, and then one in early September, end of August, early September. But that next one, Texas, Boston for 4. Night game on that Thursday. Travel across country and a 3-game set against the Oakland Athletics up at the Coliseum. Oakland winning today, taking care of the Kansas City Royals. So the Halos needing a victory to remain 1 game back in the West.
Early on in that game, Jason Vargas had a perfect game into the 5th inning against Oakland.
Things unraveled in that 5th inning. 8 runs for Oakland in that 5th. John Lester's first start as an Athletic. Rodriguez takes a strike, and it's 1-2. That reaction by Sean Rodriguez after that pitch is pretty much sums up the night tonight for Larry Vanover. This one down the right field line, slicing out of play. Matter of fact, the Rays have 4 strikeouts. All 4 have been looking.
There's been 7 strikeouts in a game looking.
Yep. The Angels have 3 of them. Two balls and 2 strikes. Fastball fouled back. Escobar on deck, then James Loening. It's 5, 6, and 7 for the Rays. Roth took over for the injured Joe Thatcher, who rolled his ankle on the bunt base hit by Brandon Geyer last inning. Strikes. Last thing you want to do. Lead off man on board. Here the hit by pitch.
He dropped down to that arm angle, ran his fastball in against the hip. Sean Rodriguez.
So Escobar, the shortstop, steps up with the man on and nobody out. 0 for 2. Fly ball to right and fly ball to center. Michael Roth, 24 years of age. South Carolina native. Delivers down low. 9th round pick by the Angels back in 2012. 18 starts at AA Arkansas this year. 9-6. 2.59 ERA. Second season at AA Arkansas. Drops down and it's in there for a strike. Halos with 3 runs, 6 hits, have stranded 5 base runners. The Rays 6 runs, 9 hits, left 4 men on base.
Escobar's rolled into 13 double plays this season.
2-1. Roth got Longoria to roll into a 5-3 inning double play to get out of the 4th. Balls behind here. 3 balls, 1 strike. So the first two have reached now to start the fifth. Hit by pitch and a walk. Mike Butcher comes jogging out.
All of a sudden, command missed by quite a bit for Roth.
Long conversation for Mike. With Mike.
Wouldn't think this would be a bunt scenario for Loney, but we've seen the Rays bunt an awful lot tonight.
I'll take advantage if Freese continues to play back at third base, and that's what the Rays have done. Take advantage of it. Twice on the third base side. Desmond Jennings was on the first base side with a man at third base. But Loney 2 for 2 tonight with a couple of singles and a run scored. Oh, 1 pitch. This one fouled off.
75-mile-an-hour slider from Roth.
Oh, 2 pitch. Slider away. 1-2. Hamilton playing shallow, a little bit toward the foul line in left field. Try to take away a little flare out to left field, especially on that little slider that Roth throws.
That's all it looked like he's trying to do is punch the ball that way.
Yeah. His heart was in it, but his backside was not on that last one. Hank thought about throwing behind Escobar at first base. And it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Down goes Loney. It's almost like he took a little bit extra off on that one.
Yeah, that was a good adjustment Roth made against Loney. A little harder slider early in the sequence. Took something off at 72 mile an hour. Especially from that tough arm angle against the lefty.
I mean, good location. Make contact with that. That's a tough pitch and get it over the infielder's head. That's down on the ground. There's Casale, the catcher. A walk and a strikeout. Takes inside. His big league debut on July 18th. Rodriguez takes off for third. No throw. Trail runner Escobar didn't go anywhere.
Tell by Rodriguez was trying to time him. Saw that Roth didn't give him that second look. As soon as he turned his head, saw the back of the head, that's when he stole third base rather easily. You still have the double play in order.
And it's 2 balls and no strikes at Casale. 3-0. Or the conviction just hasn't been there this inning against right-handed batters. Logan Forsythe, 9th place hitter on deck. There's a strike, 3-1. A bullpen game for Mike Scioscia and the Angels. C.J. Wilson getting knocked out in the second shortest outing of his career. Corey Rasmussen inning in 2/3, 2 strikeouts, 1 hit. And Thatcher lasting 1/3 of an inning because of that rolled ankle. It's a full count. That's why Roth came into the game last inning. Conger putting on the signs with runners at the corners. You figure that Escobar is going to be on the move. 3-2 count to try to avoid a potential inning-ending double play.
Chance to strike him out, throw him out if that's the case.
They throw the first, and Escobar easily back. Has not been taking that big a lead at first base.
Just 1 stolen base on the season.
Doesn't go. 3-2 down the left field line, but foul. So we'll reset and do it again. This one rolled to short. Ibar comes in, fires over to Kendrick for one. Relay back to first. Got him. Inning-ending double play. Second induced by Michael Roth. We head to the 6th. The Angels down 6-3.
Got the scoring going early for the Rays. 2-run home run to left field. Geyer, base hit up the middle, scoring a couple more. At that point, the Rays led 6-0. And the Angels worked their way back in this game. Conger doubled down the line. So the Angels cut that lead to 6-3. That's where we're at right now after a couple ground ball double plays by Michael Roth has kept this one close. 6 hits for the Angels with 3 runs. Rays with 6 runs on 9 hits.
Chris Archer back out for the 6th inning. He'll face Kendrick, Freese, and Crone. They should a leadoff walk to Mike Trout, then retire the next 3 guys to get out of the 5th. Howie 1 for 2. Double down the right field line. Picked up an RBI. One ball, one strike. Got 1-2. Double for Howie is 24th. The RBI is 46th. And the confidence back now for Chris Archer.
Yeah, he's getting better feel, especially for his slider.
Joel Peralta getting ready now for the Rays. Ground ball down the line is foul. Sounded like got it off the end of the bat there.
Tech mode, especially out their slider, was looking slider, got a fastball instead at 96.
There's Peralta.
And the 99th pitch thrown by Archer, still 96.
One down. Hey folks, next Saturday is the next Saturday Night Spectacular presented by Wells Fargo. After the Angels take on the Red Sox. Remember, next Saturday it's a 6:05 start. Purchase your tickets today at the Angel Stadium ticket office or at angels.com. The old Saturday Night Spectacular typically falls on a Saturday.
The Dodgers in, and then the Red Sox for that weekend series.
Watch out. Ball running in on David Freese. Is your buddy Ruben Amaro going to make it out to Southern California?
Maybe. Former Angel.
You guys going to hang out?
Yeah. See if I can work some conversations as far as deals. The Phillies are trying to still make a deal through the waiver wire.
Good luck to the Phils.
Yes. Fanatic's going to be there, though. That's Tuesday, Wednesday, though.
Freese 0 for 2. Picked up an RBI on the ground out of the 4th inning. Boy, how big is that called strike 3 now to Cole Calhoun in the 4th?
Changed really the complexion of this game. Granted, you're down 6-0, but you come back 6-3. Would have been ball 4, bases loaded for Mike Trout.
Chopper back up the middle, but Forsythe was shading him toward the middle. Freese retired for round number 2.
Here's that strikeout call with Cole Calhoun with a full count. And crossing the plate, there's no way that Cole felt that that was in the strike zone. And you look at our Fox tracks throughout that inning, that was above the zone.
Would have loaded the bases for Trout. Crone picked up a single in that 4th inning. 1 for 2. Five in a row retired by Archer since the walk to Trout to lead off last inning.
Still with good life on his fastball. That one at 97. Free and easy delivery. And he runs into problems when he tries to overthrow.
There's that slider. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 9 strikeouts for Archer. 2 walks. Crone pops it up. Solid backing up, and Archer calls the ball. The Angels go down in order. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Halos still down 6-3. On the bump, he's gone an inning and 2/3 so far, and he'll face 9-1-2 for the Rays here in the 6th. Forsythe, Jennings, and Zobrist. I would imagine that Chris Archer is more than likely done after 6 innings. We'll see what they decide to do, but he certainly settled down, especially after the strikeout of Calhoun to end that 4th inning, and then the walk on 4 pitches to Mike Trout. He thought, all right, maybe here come the Angels again in the 5th inning, but struck out Pujols, struck out Hamilton, and Ibar. A ground ball to Loney. Yes. He's been shut down mode since.
Yeah, and he fell behind initially the Pujols, and he had that great swing. Albert fouled the straight back, but then got locked in from that point forward, especially with his slider.
Forsythe, the second baseman tonight. RBI single with the run scored in the 2nd. Struck out looking into 3rd. First pitch in for a strike. Roth worked around a little trouble to start last inning. Hit by pitch and a walk. Struck out Loney and then got Casale to hit into the inning-ending double play. This one pulled to 3rd. Freeze has it. One down.
Well, Davis made a couple good plays on some hard-hit baseballs his way today. Longoria ground him with a double play, stepped on 3rd over the 1st, and that one hit well by Forsythe.
Here's Desmond Jennings, a center fielder. A 1-for-3 game, bunt base hit. Picked up an RBI in the 2nd. 29th run batted into the season. Slow breaking ball upstairs. Mentioned earlier that Oakland defeated Kansas City 8-3. Yankees beat Boston 6-4. Swing and a miss, could change him. Minnesota leading the White Sox 7-6. That game's in the 8th. Tigers all over the Rockies 10-2. Cleveland over Texas 2-0 in the 8th. Baltimore trailing Seattle 4-2. James Paxton is back. He was touching mid to upper 90s. A push bunt on the first base side. Roth picks it up, spins around, flips it to Crone. 2 down.
Well played by Michael Roth. Got off the mound quickly. No panic. Perfect throw to Crone at first base.
Paxton's last start before going to the L was against the Angels, right?
Yes. Threw the ball very well there. Roth got off the mound quickly. Stayed low. Athletic position to make a throw, and a perfect throw to C.J. Crone.
And the mindset for Roth, it appeared, was I'm going to field the ball and throw it to first, not I'm going to try to field and tag all in one motion.
Yeah, he knew at that point, it looked like the communication, at least looking at C.J. Crone to be able to stay back. A lot of times as a pitcher, you'll tell your first baseman to stay back. You have that line covered. Just be at the base for me.
First pitch strike on Zobrist. Just the second time tonight that the Angels have retired the first 2 batters to start an inning. The other was the first inning. T.J. Wilson then walked Geyer before Longoria touched him for a home run. Peralta up and loosening again as Zobrist looks at a strike. Man, they call Zorilla. 2 for 3 tonight. There's Peralta. Angels in the 7th have 9, 1 and 2 coming up. Conger, Calhoun, and Trout. Little chopper towards short. Ibar's going to have to hurry, and he bobbles the ball. Unable to get the transfer. Now it goes an infield base hit.
And once he didn't have a feel for the baseball, couldn't get around and make the throw to first base at that point as Zobrist gets his 3rd hit of the game. Couldn't get the grip on the baseball.
So a 3-hit game for Zobrist. Rays now with 10 hits on the night. And here is Brandon Geyer, who has 2 of those 10 hits. Also picked up 2 runs batted in. Pick off attempt. Zobrist is going to throw, is on the shortstop side, and safe at second. Bad throw by C.J. Crone. That'll go as a stolen base for Zobrist.
And as C.J. progresses at first base, that is the play he's going to have to continue to work on. Get away from the runner, get better path to throw to second base. We've seen that on a 3-6-3 double play also for C.J. Crone.
Footwork not there for him.
Again, he's working hard at it, and he will get better. More reps he gets at first base, but for the time being, it's still a work in progress.
And that's an out, too. You're back in the dugout. No extra pitches.
That's the thing, no extra pitches.
0-1. And hit him. Second hit batter for Roth. And we'll bring up Longoria with 2 men on. Longoria, the DH tonight, 1 for 3 with that home run back in the first inning. 13th of the year now with 56 runs batted in. First pitch, a strike on the inside corner. Might want to be careful trying that pitch again on the inside part of the plate. Snap throw to first, and safe at first. But if that throws a little bit lower, I think they get him.
Geyer had drifted off first base. Crone coming from behind, a higher throw than Hank wanted to.
Mike Scioscia might come out and have the umpires look at this, or at least he's going to take the time to have the Angels guys look at it in the clubhouse.
See if he got the tag in before the hand. That's real close. He might have got the tag on the wrist just before the fingers touched the base.
Well, it looked like Carapazza, the first base umpire, was thinking about it. There's a little slight hesitation.
Like he was thinking about ringing him up.
Yeah.
It's certainly worth the gamble for Mike Scioscia, especially now with Longoria up here now with 2 men on. Now see at this angle.
That angle there looks like
it looked like his fingers got on the base. The other angle, no.
Well, the ruling on the field is safe. Longoria up with a 1-ball, 1-strike count.
It's one of those ones that might take a while as you're trying to determine what angle to be able to get the best look. And that angle there, it looks like he got him right on the forearm before his hand got there. The other angle shows the fingers on the base.
Call stands. The Angels have exhausted their reviews. First and second, 2 outs. 6-3 Rays here in the 6th inning. 1-1 count on Evan Longoria. This one's fouled off to the right, 1-2. Zobrist reaching on the infield base, hit the high bar, and then Geyer hit by a pitch. Ground ball towards short. Ibar to his left, flips it on to second, and they force out Geyer to end the inning. 6 complete. We head to the 7th. Halos down 6-3, but 9-1-2 coming up. Time now for our ATT fan photo of the game. Remember to tweet your photos using hashtag WestFanPhoto, and your photo could be shown in an upcoming game broadcast. Susan with the old Mike Trout gnome. You know, from here it looks like Jared Weaver, but it's Mike Trout.
Game face though, both.
That's one way to look at it. Here's Joel Peralta. 46th game, 2-3 record, a 3.95 ERA. Pitched last night, and he was pretty good. 1-2-3-8, 3 strikeouts. That was a Freeze, Shuck, and Iannetta. Tonight here in the 7th, he'll face Conger, Calhoun, and Trout.
Fastball is 88-92. Curveball, split finger fastball.
Breaking ball for a strike.
Pretty much even up on all his pitches, about 30% or so on each one of his pitches. Fastball, curveball, and split finger fastball.
Lefties a 267 average against them. Right-handers 179. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hank tonight 1 for 2. 11th double of the year. That was in the 4th. Picked up his 23rd run batted in. 3 infielders on the right side. Forsythe down in shallow right. Popped up on the third base side into foul territory goes Sean Rodriguez. 1 out. The top of the order now, Cole Calhoun. 7 in a row retired now by Rays pitching. Archer, by the way, went 6 innings, allowed 3 runs on 6 hits, 9 strikeouts, 2 walks.
Peralta continues to pitch well against the Angels, coming in this game 1.75 in his career versus the Angels this season. 3 2/3 innings pitched. His 1 hit, 7 strikeouts, no runs.
One for 3 now for Calhoun as he drives this one out to right. Coming in on it, then moving over is Zobrist, 2 down. Squared up nicely by Calhoun, but right to Zobrist. The Angels 2 outs here, the 7th for Trout. Mike Hitless tonight 0 for 2. Walked and stole a base in the 5th inning, but was stranded there. Halos tonight 3 for 9 with men in scoring position. The bulk of that happening in the 4th. Oh, 2.
Yeah, tried to stay back on that split finger fastball as long as he could. Could not make contact.
Quick pitch, misses low. 1-2. Surprised more relievers don't do that.
Yeah, you throw off the timing of a hitter.
Pulled foul.
Especially as slow at times as Peralta can be.
Yeah.
Angel fan trying to get a picture of Mike Trout. Maybe he'll do something special here for him as he's trying to take a picture of him.
Fouled off to the right. Another 1-2. Count strikes out swinging, and the Angels are done here in the seventh. Seventh inning stretch time at St. Petersburg. Halos still down 6-3. Ozzy Osbourne look-alike signing some autographs here at Tropicana Field. The Angels down by the score of 6-3.
Ozzy, he's everywhere. He's barking at the moon.
Yeah. He's like a Robin Williams, too.
Yeah.
Geddy Lee. Combination of all three. Mrs. Doubtfire. Good call by Jeff Kibler, our producer. He's enjoying the ball game.
Some cool sunglasses.
Yeah.
Because why wouldn't you wear it indoors? Wear them at night.
He must know Alberto Callaspo.
Yes.
Michael Roth back out for another inning of action. Rodriguez, Escobar, and Loney. It's 2 balls, no strikes. Foul back. John 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground down, that hit by pitch. Third baseman tonight. Roth so far has gone 2 2/3. Off the end of the bat toward first. Crone's got it. Waves off. Michael. 1 out. So 1 out, bases cleared. Yunel Escobar coming to the plate. The Rays have a right-hander warming up in their bullpen. It's Brad Boxberger.
That's the guy that Joe Maddon was telling me earlier today that's got a chance to be pretty special out of the bullpen for him. Very good arm.
Escobar, a couple of fly balls and a walk. He skies this one out to left.
First baseman, number 21.
Fans follow every Angel game with MLB.com app bound on your favorite mobile phone or tablet. Get live look-ins, instant replays, scores, stats, audio, free MLB.tv game of the day and more. Download at the App Store. Log on at Angels.com for more details. One ball, no strikes. James Loney, a 2 for 3 night. Halos in the 8th have Pujols, Hamilton, and Ibar coming up. Ray's pitching is retired 9 straight. Fouled back. And as we expected, Joe Thatcher left with the left ankle sprain.
He rolled that over pretty good on that bunt. Tried to pivot and throw the first base. What happened to Joe Thatcher as he tried to field a bunt down the third base line? Turned to pivot, rolled his ankle on the field turf.
Fouled back. 1-2. The only strikeout victim Roth had was of Loney. That was in the 5th. This is lined into right field. 2-out single keeps the inning alive. He's yet to retire the Rays in order.
It's a 3rd hit for Loney.
Catcher, number 59, Kurt Casale.
Casale with a walk, a strikeout, and a double play ball. One ball with strike. Ball trickles away from Conger. Halos will have Jared Weaver on the hill tomorrow afternoon. 10:40 a.m. Pacific time is the first pitch. 1:40 local time. Jake Odorizzi, right-hander, going up against Weaver. And the Freeway Series kicks off at Dodger Stadium on Monday. Zach Greinke and Garrett Richards for the opener.
That's a good pitching matchup. Dodger Stadium.
Tuesday, Clayton Kershaw, Hector Santiago.
Or for Weaver to get that tone set with a solid effort tomorrow. It's always good to have your ace on the hill after a tough start here today.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Lieber's one of those guys that's walking around in the dugout. There's no doubt saying, just give me 1 or 2 runs tomorrow. I'll make it stand. I want to see that from your ace of your staff. Just that confidence he'll give his team tomorrow.
And the dirt. Casale says that ball hit him. Larry Vanover says no, it didn't. So it's a full count.
See if this hit his toe. And that back shoe did look like it moved.
A shoelace, maybe.
Yes. We're going to get together to talk about it. Wonder if somebody else had seen it.
Full count on Casale. We talked about it. Three-two. Chopper on the left side. Freeze cuts in front of Ibar. Off balance throw. And the inning comes to an end. 7 complete here at St. Pete. The Angels with Pujols, Hamilton, and Ibar coming up down 6-3.
Free quote at MercuryInsurance.com today and see how much you can save. By the Sonata Premier event at your Hyundai dealer now through September 2nd. And by Heffernan Insurance Brokers, insurance and financial services for you and your business. Visit HEFINS.com.
Top of the 8th inning. Pujols, Hamilton, and Ibar coming up. The Angels down 6-3. Brad Boxberger takes over on the mound for Joel Peranto at a 1-2-3 7. Boxberger, product of Foothill High School, USC. Reds' first-round pick back in 2009. He's pitched in the big leagues with the Padres. Now, his 42nd game as a member of the Rays.
90-95 mile-an-hour fastball. Slider, very good changeup.
Kevin Kiermaier, the new right fielder. Zobrist moves to left, and they've given up the DH as Longoria has taken over at third. Albert swings through the first pitch fastball. There's Longoria. Boxberger 2-1, a 2.11 ERA, 42 2/3 innings, 66 strikeouts, 14 walks.
Well, you can see why Joe Maddon is so high on Boxberger and his ability to throw strikes.
Pulled foul, 1-2. Albert 2 for 3 with a couple of singles and a strikeout. The pitcher spot is 5th in the order. Sky to center. Desmond Jennings coming in. 1 out. I'll make that 10 in a row now, retired by Rays pitching since that walk to Trout to lead off the 5th.
Boxberger's good changeup he has. Boy, this whole game, even though they had an early lead, a significant lead early on for the Rays, 6-0, but that at bat for Cole Calhoun. From that point forward, Rays pitching pretty much locked down except for a walk to Trout.
Josh 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. Head of the count now. 2 balls, 1 strike. Nobody listening for the Angels, so Michael Roth will be coming back out. He's gone 3 2/3 so far. 2 runs in the first, 4 in the second against C.J. Wilson, who lasted an inning and a third tonight. His first start off the DL. 3-1. And the bullpen, yet again, doing the job.
Been excellent.
And there's a walk. So man on for Eric Ibar.
Shortstop, Eric Ibar.
Well, as you're hoping here is Eric to get on base somehow, then all of a sudden you have the tying run coming to the plate. And Howie with his very good numbers here at Tropicana Field, including an RBI double.
Ibar tonight 0 for 2. A couple of ground outs and a walk. Shows bunt, takes low. Not a bad idea.
Might prompt a visit pretty soon from pitching coach Jim Hickey. Another pitch out of the strike zone.
Three and 1. That gets by. Hamilton will advance a second on a wild pitch. Three and 0.
When his Vanover home plate umpire.
Of course it's a pass ball. After we called it a wild pitch.
That's a pretty tough pass ball on that one.
No doubt. That is a firm fastball. Three balls, no strikes. Kendrick on deck.
Let's call this one a strike, so it's ball 4.
Good try. 3 and 1. It's like Jake McGee, the lefty, closing games for the Rays. Walking toward that bullpen mound. 3-1. Changeup. full Diamond. It's a full count. Payoff pitch. This is fouled back. Inside. He walked him. Back-to-back walks. And it'll bring up the tying run and Howie Kendrick.
And that's all you wanted, was that opportunity.
Second baseman, Howie Kendrick.
Howie a 1-for-3 game. Double with an RBI in the fourth. Takes inside.
Boxberger's throwing the ball very well for the Rays, but in 42 2/3 innings pitch, he's allowed 6 home runs, which is a pretty high total coming out of the bullpen. And Jim Hickey is going to go out and talk Boxberger now.
Well, he's come out a couple of times tonight, and each time that he has departed, the pitcher has responded.
Seemed like every single time coming back after the conversation, he'll throw a breaking ball and throw it for a strike.
One ball, no strikes. Hamilton standing at second. Ibarra first. Off speed, low. Right on cue. Well, he threw a really good one on that 3-1 count to Ibarra.
Well, now Howie's in a great count. This look for a fastball, look for his zone, and use the barrel of the bat.
Outside, 3-0.
Boy, Howie will love that pitch now on a 3-1 pitch.
Well, you wonder if he goes back to that Ibarra mentality, go to that changeup. Howie probably thinking fastball, and you've got to protect against that fastball.
Got a fastball, but a little bit too high.
Yep.
It's a little out of Howie's zone.
Here's the payoff pitch, and Howie goes down swinging. This was not fully committed. 2 outs. th strikeout of the night for Rays pitching.
Boy, fastball right in the outside corner. This almost is trying to foul it off at that point. Thought maybe slider.
So Freeze at the plate. 2 outs now. David 0 for 3. A couple of ground outs, a strikeout, and an RBI. 0-1. The strikeout of Kendrick. The Angels now 3 for 10 tonight with men in scoring position. 0-2.
Exact same spot with both pitches at 92.
back-to-back walks to Hamilton and Ibar. Kendrick ahead of the count at 3-0, but a strikeout for the second out. Now no 2 count on Freeze. McGee ready to go in the pen for the Rays. And the Angels are done here in the 8th. Led to the bottom of the 8th inning. Rays still on top. First, the Freeway Series returns as the Angels and Dodgers go head-to-head in a 4-game series. Then starting Friday, the Angels host the Red Sox in a 3-game set at the Big A. All games, of course, right here on Fox Sports West. Plus, we'll have enough all-new Angels programming to keep you seeing red all week long. Don't miss Get Your Red On Week all week long next week on Fox Sports West. Michael Roth back out. He's gone 3 2/3 scoreless innings of baseball. He's scheduled to face 9-1-2 for the Rays here. It'll be Forsythe, Jennings, and Zobrist. Logan Forsythe, the second baseman, 1 for 3. An RBI single and a run scored in the second. RBI for Forsythe in that second inning. His 17th as he skies this one out to deep left. Hamilton moving back on it. That is gone. Logan Forsythe with his 4th home run of the season. It's now a 7-3 Rays lead.
82-mile-an-hour pitch from Roth. Fastball right down the heart of the plate and elevated. Forsythe. That one well out to left center field. Well out to left center field.
Desmond Jennings looks at a strike. Just missed it. Jennings a 1 for 4 night. Broken bat looper, and Ibar can't get to it. It falls in shallow left. So a 2-hit game for Jennings. 12th hit for the Rays. Pardon me, 13th hit for the Rays now. And it's Zobrist coming to the plate.
Zobrist has had 3 hits in this game. And it says James Loney. Look at our Phantom cam. Off the end of the bat. Breaks the bat.
Wow.
Well, that's a great view with our Phantom cam. When you see a bat crack like that, get the follow through, able to get it over the head of Eric Ibar into the outfield for a base hit.
Three-hit game for Zobrist. 3 singles. Picked up a stolen base as well in the 6th inning. This one's out toward left. Hamilton trying to track it down. Can't get there. Jennings being waved around. The throw from Ibar to the plate. Not in time. It's up the line, off the glove. And Zobrist will advance to third. It's 8-3 Rays.
Second run of the game that Jennings has scored. Well, that was hit on the line. You wonder if Josh really read that off the bat. Caught up in the bank of lights and was hit on the line like that. Left center field.
So 3 straight hits to start off this 8th inning. Zobrist gets credited with a double, an RBI, and then moves to third on the throwing error. Still nobody out. Kevin Kiermaier takes ball 1. First plate appearance for him. Kiermaier last night 1 for 4. Took over in right last inning, last half inning. .70 pitches thrown by Raw. Took over for Joe Thatcher, who sprained his left ankle in the 4th inning. Two balls, 1 strike. Cesar Ramos getting ready now. A 5-run lead, so Matt will go to the lefty. Got into the game last night. Kiermaier fouls this one back. Didn't know where the ball was at. Looking for it. Slow off-speed pitch.
So hard to stay back as a hitter or something, so especially when you're first at bat.
And down goes Kiermaier for the first out. Second strikeout for Michael. And now he'll face Evan Longoria with Zobrist at third base.
Break ball backed up on him. Fooled him. We're going to walk Longoria here to set up a double play ball.
Matt Joyce will be pinch hitting for the pitcher spot. Longoria 1 for 4 night. The home run back in the first. And there's ball 4. Weren't with us in the top of the inning. Longoria was the DH at the top of this inning. He took over at third base. Thus, we're going there at DH spots, and the pitcher becomes an active hitter. It's Joyce now pitch hitting for the pitcher spot.
Your attention, please. Pitch hitting for boxer number 20, Matt Joyce.
281 average for Joyce. Tampa native, has 7 home runs and 42 RBIs. 2 for 14 as a pinch hitter.
And just 154 against lefties.
Two strikeouts, 2 walks, 2 hit batters for Roth. 5 hits allowed. Off speed is in there. He's done a nice job soaking up these innings. Very important innings. Had the Angels come through on the top of the 8th inning, could have gone Kevin Jepson for the bottom of the 8th. Take your chances in the 9th against McGee. If it remained a save situation. This one's bounced toward the middle. Ibar can't get it. It sneaks through for a base hit and make it 9-3 Rays as Joyce picks up the RBI. Longoria advances to second.
Ground ball back up the middle, just by Eric Ibar. Bringing in another run here in the 8th for the Rays.
So Yunel Escobar hitless tonight, steps up. He's 0 for 3 with a walk. Escobar has faced Roth twice, walked in the 5th inning, and a fly ball to left in the 7th. Michael has thrown 2 double play balls tonight. Changeup. Swing and a miss, 1 and 2. 23,656 here tonight. Joe Madden, Mr. Potato Head giveaway. And they delivered for their fans early. 2 in the first, 4 in the second, take a 6-0 lead. The Angels got 3 back in the 4th. Remain that way until here in the 8th. This one line beyond the reach of Kendrick in the center. Longoria comes in to score. 10-3 Rays.
Well, all of a sudden, the Roth having a tough time to get through, but also knowing that Mike Scioscia still needs to be able to somehow, some way finish off this inning.
Yeah.
Especially because of the bullpen and how much it's been used. That's the unfortunate thing for Roth right now.
This is one of those you're either going to soak it up or you're going to a John McDonald type to get the last 2 outs here in this 8th inning. You're not going to get someone heated in that pen, considering the amount of innings that bullpen has pitched over the last week.
And pressure innings.
Yeah. Loney's had himself a 3-hit game, 16 hits on the night for the Rays. 5 of which have occurred here in this 8th inning. C.J. Wilson an inning in the third, 6 runs. Corey Rasmus a scoreless inning in 2/3. Thatcher, of course, removed after a third. That ankle issue as Crone fields it, fires to second for 1. The relay back, and that is an inning-ending double play. But the Rays extend their lead as we head to the ninth, 10-3 Tampa Bay. Stick around after the last down. Angels Live postgame presented by your SoCal Mazda dealers. Ken French and Jose Mota will break this one down. And unfortunately for the Angels, they were looking up from the get-go. Interesting to get Jose's take and also Mike Scioscia's take after the game on C.J. Wilson's performance tonight. That is all happening on Angels Live postgame. Cesar Ramos takes over on the mound here in the ninth inning. Crone, Conger, and Calhoun due up for the Angels. Halos, with a loss tonight, would drop a game in the standings. Oakland picking up the 8-3 win over Kansas City earlier this afternoon. C.J. Crone 1 for 3. As he pulls this one down the line, that's a fair ball. First pitch swinging. Played cleanly by Zobrist. Nobody's at second base, and Crone in there with a leadoff double.
A couple good swings in this game for Crone. Boy, stayed back on this one well. His hands inside the baseball and drives it right down the third base line.
Chris Iannetta will pinch hit here for Hank Conger. He finishes the night going 1 for 3 with a double. Iannetta last night 2 for 4, 2 doubles and an RBI. Ramos on the season 2-3 and a 3.98 ERA. 31st game, has 7 starts under his belt. 63 in the third innings, 59 hits, 50 strikeouts, and 31 walks. Down to the dirt again. It's 2 balls, no strikes. Fred Boxberger, who pitched the 8th inning, with 1 inning, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, everything else zeros. On the corner. Ramos last year, 48 games for the Rays, all out of the pen. 2-2 and a 4.14 ERA. Homer, first round pick back in 05. by San Diego.
Two-seam action on his fastball.
Two balls, two strikes on Chris. The Rays up 10-3. Going 4 times at the bottom of the 8th inning against Ron. Ended up going 4 2/3. Chris punches one to the right side. That'll sneak through for a base hit. Crone will be waved around. Here comes the throw from Kiermaier, and Crone is out.
Well, we saw Kiermaier's arm before as Mike Scioscia is going to go out. Through the hole. Let's see if there's a path to the plate. Looked like there was. He blocked the plate when he had the baseball, look like. So she's going to ask for a discussion on that one. Well, he dropped the knee right on his hand also.
Yep.
Well, you hope C.J. Crone is okay.
This is a crew chief review. Mike Scioscia and the Angels are out of review opportunities. Watch the left shin guard go down on that left hand.
Right on his hand as he's trying to get to the plate. And the slide in. This angle right here you will see there's a tag made, and then the shin guard and all the weight you put on C.J. Crone's hand.
Now, boy, I tell you what, that angle right there, did the glove touch the body?
You see the grimace on the face from C.J. Crone also. Did he ever get any of the plate?
It looked like the fingers got in underneath the shin guard, clearly. The question was, did the fingers get there before the tag? Getting ready to take off the headsets here. As it stands, it's an out at the plate. And he is out at the plate. Very good throw by Kiermaier. And like you said, hope that C.J. Crone and his hand are all right.
Looked like he got the thumb. Okay. Right on the thumb.
And from the new blocking of the plate rule gave him a path. Once you have the baseball, you can block the plate just like a runner can go through a catcher who's blocking the plate at that point. There's no rule saying that you can't go into the catcher if he has the ball and he's blocking the plate. And yet we haven't seen any of that.
No.
So it's a single for Iannetta. And Cole hits one out toward right center field. Kiermaier comes racing in, makes the catch, 2 outs.
And getting back to that throw by Kiermaier, a lot of times you would think, and I think that would happen with Gary DiSarcina in the third, anticipating Kiermaier just throwing that ball in the second. You're up by 7 runs. You don't want to allow another runner to get into scoring position, but a perfect throw by Kiermaier. And we've seen him out in Anaheim covering a ton of ground. Covered ground there, and a perfect throw to the plate also in this inning.
So 2 outs and Trout at the plate. Mike at 0-for-3 night. Lifts this one out to shallow right field. Kiermaier, a long run over. He is there. And the Angels drop game 2 to the Rays. Tonight, the final 10-3.
Well, it was all Rays early on, and then they ended up scoring 4 in the 8th inning as they win this one 10-3. Solid job by Chris Archer. C.J. Wilson struggling an inning and third as the Rays even up this series with a 10-3 victory tonight.
Setting up the rubber game of the series tomorrow afternoon, 10:40 first pitch. Jared Weaver on the mound for the Angels. Stick around. Angels live post game with Ken French and Jose Mota will break it down right after this.